What's going on? Be into this, boys. Let's let the Discord know what's going on. What's going on? Like I said earlier, what's going on. Whatever the heck that means. Scunon? What's Scunon, guys? It's me, Summoner Blue, here today, playing some Ignore Me. As I always put in my chats, ignore me! So that is what I'm playing. Actually playing Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Is it Coteries? Seems like it's Coteries, right? Could be wrong. Pretty sure it's Coteries. Ugh. Crack in the neck. And I think we're gonna get ready to go with this. Your request to be ignored has been denied. How dare you? How actual dare you? Let's take down... Actually, I think everything's pretty fine. I don't think there's any problems with the audio currently, unless you guys tell me there is. Dialogue options in the middle? What's that mean? Whoa! Now listen. Don't want that. I don't want the game to be full screen. Whenever that just did, okay, whenever I went full screen, what did that look like for you guys? Coteries? Coteries? Really? I thought it was coteries, like cauterizing something. But I guess coteries? I guess that's fine. Coteries? 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 Cometeries? Interesting. Wow, it's my favorite Christmas stream. Yep, look at this fucking Christmas game we got here, boys. Hope you guys are ready for a holly jolly fucking Christmas in New York. Cause my God. Oh, who's in this? Just me. Just me right now. If I ever get other people to join in, that'd be different. I mean, it's red. Christmas is red. Exactly. Think about it. If you were to have a Christmas without like the color red somewhere, that'd be weird, right? So we're gonna put the color red everywhere. Needs more green? I mean, maybe. We'll see. Looking around. I think we're good to start things up. Let's go ahead and go to new game and see how this game goes. It zoomed the screen into the top left corner. Okay, thank you. I don't want that. Got all these empty slots. Ooh. Oh, really? We can decide our clan. What kind of visual novel is this? We can be a Bruja. The rabble revel against the power and rage against authority. A seemingly insignificant man with significant ideas that will join their ranks tonight. We have the Ventru. Ooh, we can be a Ventru. The aristocrat Bluebloods embody wealth, sovereignty, my bad, and control. A top-level corporate executive will join their ranks tonight. Or the Toreador. The divas seek thrills of art, romance, and cruelty amidst the stagnant undeath. Doesn't say anything about joining anybody, he's just there, I guess. Whatever. Like a true artist, he's just fucking hanging out, I guess. Only 3 choices? Yeah, this is a visual novel. I'm surprised there's any choices, to be fair. It's just a visual novel, Sweaty. Like, there's really not too many reasons to be a Nosferatu in a visual novel. I like the Ventru because she's a pretty lady. Toreador. I usually go Toreador, though. I think we're gonna go Ventru. I like the Ventru. I think we're gonna go Ventru. Choose your name. I mean, the thing with it is, guys, we can't even pick a Toreador because he doesn't join them. See? Everybody else, like, says something joins their ranks. He doesn't join the ranks, so I can't choose him. I have to choose this. I have to choose Ventru because Toreador doesn't join any ranks, guys. Obviously. Trying to think. What should our name be? It says here that they are a high-level corporate executive. So they gotta be smart. I ain't got many smart characters. Oh, no, that is no way. Karen? Of course. Karen. She wants to speak to your manager and then eat him. Ripley? That sounds pretty good. I'm trying to think, because I know that I have something, but I can't go back and like look at names because freaking all my stuff was taken away. Let's just go with Cersei, Denise. But pronounced D-nice? D-nice? No way. Serena. I think I'm gonna go... I'm just trying to remember her name. It's one of my oldest characters. Aaron? Perfect. Let's go Aaron. So hard. Oh well, let's just go with for now, because I can't think of the character's name. We'll name it after my computer. We'll go Velvet. It's not letting me choose. There we go. Perfect. It did it again! Stop that. How dare you go full screen? I'll kill you. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back whenever I was a human, I would have told you that it's just superstitious bullshit. That we're all designers of our own destinies. I'm guessing this isn't me because it's question marks and it looks like a dude silhouette. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened the very same place you're standing right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen for a while longer. You see, my mistake was I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. I was hot shit. I had it all. Money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in the eye. The one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within me and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided it would fit me much better. She was a 9th generation kindred, just like you, an apex predator. She probably enjoyed showing me a peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate, a message saying, you're eternally doomed, being at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of... Excuse me, that happens sometimes. Hers wasn't a message of doom. It was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. My answer is, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it is so rare for you to visit New York 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much. Don't get that wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I'd trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy, asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think you won't get away with it unpunished. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate actually exists. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. Your phone rings. It's your boss again. The setting sun that filled your high-rise office an hour ago is gone, and the city looks like an ocean of light from up here, spreading for miles to the north. You pick up. You're about to call it a day, forget about the world and of fintech and decompress at home. No dice. One of the investors wants to meet you. His voice is always the perfect mix of authority and sleaze. He'll come by your office in an hour. You look at the clock. An hour? He's gotta be kidding. Yeah, I know, but stick around. He's a heavyweight. You'll want to make a good impression. Fine. You grit your teeth a little. The boss hangs up. 2 hours. Might as well be another coffee in yourself and figure out how the best to use this to your advantage. You suspect everyone knows that no, you're not actually happy with your current position, that in fact you feel squished against the glass ceiling that comes with the territory. Sure, your idiot superior may have gotten the job only because the CEO's golfing buddy, but you're going to put an unholy amount of work into your advancement. Times where you'd laugh off. What the hell? Times where you'd laugh off the idea of staying at the office till 9 p.m. You had a partner to go home to, the nightly Netflix and chill ritual to perform, complete with pizza or Chinese takeout. Ever since you moved up the ladder, though, your hours have only gotten longer. Food, mostly at the company cafeteria. Sometimes takeout, always in a rush. You praise the heavens for your crazy metabolism and dread the day it finally decides to give up. Rest? At this point, the cleaning lady who takes care of your apartment probably spends more time in your bedroom than you do. You flash back to your boss quoting Shakespeare to impress his new, extremely attractive and uncomfortably young secretary. For some must watch while some must sleep. So runs the world away. Drinks, mostly with colleagues, and they'll all pretty much hate you at this point. Another flashback, this time to an almost profitable quarter in the company's history. Still, the board decided that layoffs were in order. Your boss didn't feel like letting people know in person, so he passed that privilege onto you. Gotta hand it to him. He always knew how to pick his battles. But maybe, just maybe, tonight is the night it's all going to change. You decide to play the good looks angle. Nothing too slutty. You leave your blouse slightly unbuttoned. Check if your ass looks as good as you remembered it in your pencil skirt. Mirror says yes. It's not something you're proud of, but you've become too jaded to care. Knowing your luck, the investor is going to be one of two types. A self-obsessed Musk wannabe in his 20s, or a fat old pervert drenched in cologne. You hear the elevator ding. Time to get the show on the road. You take one final look in the mirror and fix your hair as the footsteps echo across the empty hallway. The man who approaches your office is not what you expected. He's slick, to be sure, but he seems a bit more refined than your usual company man. Expensive suit, matching tie and shirt, confident in his stride, surprisingly good looking. Good evening. I hope this unforeseen visit isn't too much of an inconvenience. God, that voice. Taken about by how strong and smooth it is. Thanks! And his eyes. Steel blue. Cold. Intense. He's all business. Professional. Treats you in a manner that's appropriate for your stature. When he speaks, he actually looks you in the eye and not at your cleavage. He asks some questions about your work, tells you how he noticed your input after talking to the CEO, another golfing buddy, and comes charmingly close to calling your boss an incompetent doofus. All the while, you try to guess his accent, but can't quite place it. European, sure, but where from? I know I've kept you long enough, but would you indulge me join me for a drink? Of course. For a minute there, it seemed like he wasn't that kind of guy. But what the hell, you go with it. He seems nice enough. Besides, it's not like you have other plans. The investor has a limo waiting downstairs, and the driver takes you to a high-end restaurant in Williamsburg. A seat is waiting for you in the deluxe lounge. It's just the two of you. You talk about this and that. Your companion seems to have a knack for history. So tell me, what would you do if you had full control over the company? You almost choke on your wine. This is your chance. You say what's been on your mind for months, but hide it behind a veneer of professional corporate babble. Refocusing, listening to your instincts for once, restructuring, kicking out your boss, aggressively pursuing new markets, getting the hell away from all these horrible people. He likes the sound of that. He leans forward, his eyes flash with intensity and something else, a strange emotion that wasn't there before. You'll do just fine. His words echo inside your head as you black out. You wake up, God only knows how much later. As you try to piece together what happened, you hear a familiar voice, the investor, or whoever the hell he is, talking to someone. You suddenly recall snippets, fragmented memories, his sapphire eyes intensely locked with yours, his teeth suddenly longer and sharper. And something else, a feeling on your neck that makes you, oh God, that takes you back to your last happy time. Orgasm. A company trip to Florida, a sweaty room, the cutie from HR who doesn't work there anymore, and then darkness. Yes, I'm done here. Consider my debt paid. The investor pushes another figure aside and walks away from the lounge, barely bothering to look at you. The door locks behind him. Some time passes before you find the strength to get up from the couch. You touch your lips. Blood? Did that asshole hit you? You try to stand up, but your head is pounding, and your stomach is like a heavy knot, pulling you down. You didn't have that much to drink. He must have spiked your wine. This is bad. You frantically check your clothes. Pristine. Doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, a feeling hits you unlike anything else you felt before. You fall to the floor, writhing in an all-encompassing pain and hunger. The kind that makes your insides burn. That cannot be denied. You try to calm yourself with a breathing exercise they taught you at some bullshit mindfulness course. That's when it hits you. You're not breathing. And holy shit. Should your heart be jumping out of your chest with that realization? But it's not moving. Not even a beat. The door unlocks. You hear a startled voice. A young man in a waiter's outfit, his accent thick with Eastern European harshness, leans over and asks you if you're all right. For a brief moment, you wonder what the hell he's doing here. Everything is wrong. Then his smell reaches your nostrils. It's intoxicating. Everything feels right again. He holds out his arm to help you stand up. You grab it firmly with both hands, and then you bite down. You sink your teeth right next to the old-school pinup tattoo of Rita Hayworth on his forearm. It takes you a moment to process what you're doing. A part of you wants to break away, but a stronger voice implores you to keep drinking. One thing becomes clear. You are definitely enjoying this. He only struggles a little and quickly falls to his knees. You can see his eyes now, pale blue and confused. You only bring yourself to let him go once he collapses to the floor. Your bite leaves a mess on his forearm. Poor Rita, all bloodied, missing half her face. Did you just drink this guy's blood? You spit out a piece of torn flesh. Why? Where? What was in that fucking wine? Barely able to focus, your heart and your lungs still motionless. You reach out for your phone and dial 911. 911 operator, what's your emergency? I kind of killed somebody. I kind of killed somebody. Not gonna lie, I think I killed somebody. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I killed somebody? Give me a second. The truth will set you free. Exactly. I think he's fucking dead. And I killed Rita. Ugh. I killed somebody. I think I just killed somebody. Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. Where are you right now? The door to the lounge swings open. The man who enters is not the one that brought you here, though there are similarities. He's tall for one, broad-shouldered, handsome, dressed like in an immaculate suit, but his skin is darker and the look on his face tells you he's not here to negotiate a deal. He notices the smartphone in your hand. Oh, damn. What's up, boy? Shoo, what you doing? Pass me the phone if you want to live. The man's voice is persuasive, calm, but carrying clear threat. He's got the aura of a viciously efficient corporate shark. You find it hard to argue with him. Ma'am? Hello? I apologize for wasting your time. My new colleague got drunk and is now trying to oppress everyone with her antics. Good night. He disconnects the call and places your phone in his pocket. Geez, Blue, during the same time with both Lindo and Aaron? What kind of friend are you? How dare you, Arad? I checked. Alright? I checked. Let's see here. Let's go look at Aaron first. Aaron started streaming 5:38, and I started streaming 5:30. Aaron's streaming at the same time as me. On his day, though, because this is his day of streaming, so I do understand I'm not trying to get onto him for anything. And it's for the Lindo thing. Like, I can't keep a lookout for everybody. I can't keep a lookout for everybody's streams. I do know that Lindo is streaming, but there's not really anything I can do about that. Especially whenever I have games to play, my dudes. I only have a couple of days that are good for it too. Like Tuesday and Friday are the only real good days I have for streaming games. So either way, for whatever reason, you can barely take your eyes off the stranger. As hypnotizing as his presence is, though, it's also highly discomforting. Good evening, miss. I'm here to pick you up. Who are you? Pick me up? Call an ambulance. Hey, yo, call an ambulance, though? Please, you need to call an ambulance. Someone else is taking care of that. The stranger approaches the waiter and examines his body. Critical condition, but he might live. Anyway, he then sets his sights on you. I know this is all new to you, but I've dealt with hundreds of strays like you, and going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, there are the smart ones who carefully obey my every word and don't try to pull off anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there are the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly without permission. The troublemakers who tried to run off or make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, most of them never reached their destination at all. His voice becomes slightly bored and monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before, likely dozens of times. So you see, while I generally consider myself pretty smart, I'm also a Mets fan. It's my one true weakness, one that inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system when dealing with pups like you. If you get on my nerves once or twice, well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful situations. But cross me 3 times, and you're out. No excuses, no forgiveness, no mercy. And he's talking, or as he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit more of a theatrical swagger to his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize it's a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes, and you're out. Say, "I understand, sir." Now. Every atom of your being screams at you for you to obey his authority. Fuck you, sir. I understand, sir. Fuck you, sir. What are you even talking about, dude? Like, what the fuck? Like what? What do you guys think? Should we listen to the boy? What do you guys think? I'm gonna go close the door. Ugh. You guys tell me what you think. Hello, what you doing? Ugh. Come on, bud. Back up here. Listen to the boy. Finally, something fun. Everybody saying Crimson says listen to the boy. No one else says anything else. So we're probably gonna try to listen to the boy. He's a pretty good boy. I like him. Oh, never mind. Sedzula says to tell him to fuck off. Well, there's no fuck off option. There's fuck you. But there's no fuck off. We have a conundrum. There's a two-way split in the chat. However, can we decide between I understand, sir, and fuck you, sir, if somebody doesn't tell me potentially another thing to say to break the tie? We might be here for quite a while if that's the case. Where's the fuck me option? We're not a Toreador. Third option, let's go. Listen. Now you guys are fucking, like, now we have all 3 of them. Next thing that I see that isn't from the 3 people who already said something, that's what we're going with. So as long as Crimson Dragon, Sezzle, and Eggy does not, Eggy says third option. Okay, cool. We got this. 2 people said the last one. I'm sorry, Isno. 2 people already said the last one. Can you please just tell me what's going on? No. I thought I made myself clear. Strike 1. Moving on. Is there anything you want to inform of your current situation? Tell them you're alright. Is there anyone you'd like to inform? Okay. He flashes his fangs briefly, and for some reason the sight sends a chill down your spine. There is something very wrong about him. Someone closest to you? Listen. How about you go tell my boss everything's fine? How about you go tell my boss? My boss, I suppose. The stranger squints at you. Forgive me, but am I to assume your relationship is more than professional? You immediately give him a piercing glare. No, God, no. Me and that pig. Don't be ridiculous. Ugh. You said he was the closest person to you. You asked me if I'd had anyone I'd like to tell I'm alright. The answer is yes, people at my office. I don't want to lose my job, so I'd prefer to let them know I didn't just go off on a bender. No family? No lover? No friends? Your blank stare tells him the whole story. He immediately stops prying and gives you something worse than a look of pity. A look of honest compassion. Well, that makes things simpler. But let me be crystal clear, just in case. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew under, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You are forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes looking for you, it's over for both you and them. That practiced tone again. You put your poker face and listen in silence. So unless you want your boss to end up at the bottom of the Hudson, I'd suggest you cooperate. Don't tempt me. He smiles, revealing his fangs again. There's absolutely something absolutely sickening about it. Suddenly you feel overwhelmed by a sense of exhaustion and you pass out. Once you regain your senses, you find yourself in the stranger's arms. The man is holding you as you would hold a spouse that's had a little bit too much to drink. You try to break free, but he holds you close and gives you a cautioning look. Only when you cease your struggling does he let you go. Only now do you notice the change in scenery. You find yourself in a fancy lobby, right next to the elevator. The place is virtually empty, save for a single concierge and some cleaning staff. Your companion gestures to the concierge as you pass, and he picks up the phone. The elevator arrives, the door opens, and the man motions toward the cabin. After you. Where are we going? To a safe place. That's all you need to know. I feel like I need to know a little bit more than that, to be honest, but I guess now's not the time for me to be making too many demands, so that's fine. Trust me, you don't want to make this difficult. Just get in. Yeah, sure, man. Sure, yeah, that's fine. Going against your instincts, you enter the cabin. Smooth jazz is playing over the speakers as the elevator starts its descent. You are dazed, panicky, but somehow locked in place. On the one hand, you find the stranger's presence oddly soothing. On the other, you can feel your body tensing up with stress. You can't help but think back to the young waiter, the doe-eyed look on his face, the confused look he gave you just before. No, it's better not to think about it, plus you have other things to worry about, like the fact that you're being kidnapped? The cabin door opens to the same garage you arrived at when the investor some hours ago. The man shows you to a black Cadillac Escalade. I know what you're thinking. Getting into the car with some strange man, boy, sure seems like a dumb idea. Maybe I can make a run for it. I might be able to lose him. So let me be perfectly clear. Your best bet is to get in, relax, and enjoy the ride. The waiter? Do you think that the waiter upstairs is he going to be all right? Yes. You look him in the eyes and he can immediately tell, and oh damn, okay, he's lying to me. All right, cool, man. No more questions. Get in the car, please. Yeah, sure, man. Seems like the worst idea ever, but the man's made it pretty clear that you have no choice in the matter. Have fun getting murdered at the past of the chat. I'm going to celebration dinner for completing my first semester of college. Have fun, Deco. Alright, later, Dragon. Have a good time, my dude. What's your name? I've got friends. Are you going to hurt me? Like, what's your name, man? Can I at least know your name? You'll know it when the time is right. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Listen, you really need to quit stalling. I'm on a bit of a schedule here. The sun comes up in about 2 hours, and I don't intend to be here when it does. The sun? What does it matter when the sun comes up? Ah, you really don't know, do you? Good thing I got here when I did. He opens the car and gestures towards it. You see no point in delaying the inevitable, so you get in. The door locks behind you. The Cadillac... Okay, well, if I can go down, why don't you? It's almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without another word. I can see his eyes pretty clearly, though. That's fucking creepy. Thought you weren't supposed to have a reflection, asshole. I'm kidding. Did I... die? Depends on your definition of death. Listen, I realize you have many questions. Tomorrow you will get some answers, but tonight you need to do what I say, and right now I need some quiet. Please. You feel too confused to protest. You stay silent for the rest of the ride, even as more questions bubble up to the surface. One of them being, did you actually kill someone tonight? Staring out the window, you find it hard to focus and quickly lose track of where you're headed. You can only tell that you haven't left Manhattan. Another underground parking, almost featureless, empty. The car stops and the man opens the door for you. We're here. The stranger walks you to a nearby door. He opens it and motions for you to get in. Go on in, make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry, again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow, and you'll get your answers. Behind the door is a small room, no windows, just a simple bed, and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. A small fridge is humming away at the corner, accompanied by a rattling AC fan in the wall. Where are you going? And where are you going? I have to make some arrangements for tomorrow, of course. Look, this room is your best chance at seeing another night. I realize you've been put in a problematic situation, and it's not entirely your fault. Cooperate and you might still make it. You will learn more tomorrow, but for the time being, get in and get cozy. He gestures inside the room. Well, yeah, man, sure. You step inside. The stranger nods. Good night. He locks the door behind you. It looks very sturdy. You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there filled with red liquid. No label. Tomato soup? You feel sick to your stomach. Best to leave it for now. You lie down on the bed. It's a simple mattress on a metal frame. At least it's not too filthy. You think back to how this evening began. This investor, is he friends with the dark-skinned stranger who picked you up from the restaurant? What happens now? Unable to relax, you spend an hour or so playing out various scenarios in your head. Eventually, you decide to give in and let the exhaustion take over. Whatever tomorrow brings, you'd rather face it well-rested. Plus, there's no way in hell your boss isn't going to notice your absence tomorrow. That and maybe some of the restaurant staff will feel a pang of conscience. Somebody will notify the police. Someone will find you. Right? You flash back to the waiter's tattoo. The bloody Rita Hayworth winking at you over a pale mess of a wound. You did this. You bit him. Drank his blood and it tasted good. What if you can never go home again? You are so tired. Your entire body tenses up one last time, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. I'm gonna edit the stream title really quick. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh. There we go. Done. Edited the stream title. Drift into oblivion. Oh no, oblivion. What's these things up here? Okay, so these are the logs. Okay. And this is a dictionary? Okay, cool. Neat. You wake up. That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels like. The room is unchanged. The lamp's still on, the AC is rattling, the refrigerator's still humming. And you look at your watch, it's almost 9 p.m. You've slept for 17 hours straight. Even though you didn't know when you fell asleep at the first, don't worry about it. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone and you feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and the back of your head. You open the fridge. The bag is still there. You take a closer look at it. If it is soup, then its color and texture are off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. Ugh. Cranberries. Holy shit. Fucking cranberries. We got some cranberry syrup, my boys. Or strawberry syrup. There's no mistaking it. It's syrup. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating, but now it's almost... No, not almost. It is enticing. Interesting. What do we do here? Put the bag back or drink the blood? I think I think it's a little bit too weird for me at the moment. I think I'll put the bag back. Something in your body wants you to have a sip from the bag. Somehow it's tempting, but the very idea makes you feel sick to your stomach. You cork the bag and put it back in the fridge. Some time passes. You try to piece together different thoughts and make sense of it all, when you hear the lock click and see the door open. Standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Immaculate suit again, that predatory look, like a hawk on the hunt, but somehow more relaxed tonight. So like a tamed hawk, maybe? Good evening. Slept well? Your face is good enough as an answer, I suppose. There's not much you know, but of this you're 100% sure. You look like shit right now. Come on. We've got places to be. The car is humming in the empty parking lot, just outside the door in the cramped room you have spent all day in. The man motions to it, politely, but with a stern look on his face. Yeah, man. It's not like I have a choice, right? Correct. But your cooperation is appreciated, nevertheless. You take the back seat again. The doors lock. The stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of the familiar streets or landmarks through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. The car is also soundproofed, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic humming in the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. You check the door handle. Yeah, door's locked all right. The piece of dark glass separating you from the front of the car looks sturdy too. There's nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have the time to think about it before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and the back of your head. Right, that thing. You become restless. This is essentially a kidnapping. Whatever this guy says about its purpose, it doesn't change the fact that you're here against your will. You're not used to following orders when you can't delegate them to somebody else. You feel a need to get a semblance of control over the situation. You decide to prove yourself useful. I have a worthwhile skill set. Listen, I'm an investment advisor and I have a lot of experience in fintech. Whatever your organization is, it might find use for me. I don't even have any idea what fintech is, and honestly, I don't care to find out. A short pause. I'll be frank, currently you're in no position to offer anybody anything. The sooner you accept that, the better. Lack of ambition, dude. Come on, man. Work it up. Big words from somebody's dedicated errand boy. I wonder if you've ever achieved anything. You push the right buttons. Uh-oh. He gives you an absolutely furious stare through the rearview mirror. For a second, you spot a crack in his professional demeanor. Ugh. You don't know anything about me. You have no idea where I'm coming from or where I'm headed. For a few seconds, he quietly fumes. Your attitude won't help you make any friends, and in your current position, you definitely need some. Consider that, preferably in silence. Will you take a hug for freedom? Reverie asked. Who's Reverie? The voice in my head. Ah, tell them to shut up. Well, you heard him. You heard the stranger, guys. There's nothing I can do. That dull hunger strikes again. The powerlessness hurts. You're used to people listening to you or pretending to care about your demands at least. The driver doesn't play that game, and it annoys you to no end. It takes you another 20 or so minutes to get you to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York, that much is certain. Queens, maybe? After me. No sudden movements, please. You approach a nice-looking building that's something that houses a 2-story gallery called the Art Hole. 2 large men in suits flank the door on both sides, and they give your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger guiding you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour to say the least. About 24 faces fill a showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces on the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, unnaturally so. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. You see an open contempt on a few faces and an animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to appraise your worth. Ah, fuck, am I being sold? Damn it! This reminds you of your company meetings. You, the only woman in the room, silently judged, not on her merits, but her standing on the list, passed in the clandestine email threads between you and your male coworkers, until HR found out, that is. Not the most pleasant experience, but there's no denying it taught you resilience. When others would cower, you now straighten up. When others would turn their gaze, you meet the eyes of the gallery's guests with confidence. Oh look, it's the woman. Neat. So you are a leaf. Listen, voice in my head. I don't think you understand what we're in here. Like, if something happens to me, it happens to both of us. You're basically just like some sort of fabrication of my mind that I use whenever I'm in like chronic stress. So if I'm gone, you're gone. I just want you to understand where the ship is here. Help me out. Good evening, Kadir. And to you, child. The noble cove voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers, you being brought here against your will. For what purpose? The room awaits your response. Good evening, miss. Good evening, miss.
You are addressing the Prince of New York City, Helene Panhard, child of Michaelia, Hakalakakala. I kid. Michaelia.
Thank you, my sheriff, but I'm capable of introducing myself. She is somewhat plain-looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is intently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people. That much is clear. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction into unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly after. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience. But I am willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. I will remain silent. That don't hurt me. Please don't hurt. You decide it's best to stay silent and listen to your whole situation unfold. It seems like you're out of your depth here. Shall we begin? You are about to be judged by a court of New York City. Kadir, please, tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court? Prince? What kind of secret society make-believe?
A trusted informant, who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time, tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. A reservation made in a private lounge of the patrician suggests that one's sire had plenty of resources to spend. However, they are apparently also well connected. I lost track of them. Despite some reservations, she offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force her compliance. She did not make use of the bagged blood we kept in the safe house fridge, probably holding her natural instincts. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged her to join me, which she did without struggle. A pleasant departure from my usual routine, I must say. During our drive here, she showed me her fangs, metaphorically speaking, posturing as if we were equals, insulting me when it didn't work. I refrained from causing her physical harm, but I expect her ego might still be a bit bruised. He looks at you and finishes with a nasty smile. The story ends with us arriving at Asylum tonight. All eyes are on you again. You take a special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood red hair. She's on the games art, probably, and a dress to match.
You see her whispering to her bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder? Thank you, Kadir. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration later. She turns her attention to you. First, there is the matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Kadir picked you up from last night. Who are they? Handsome businessman. An entrepreneur. Acquaintance of my boss, I think. Good looking, pale blue eyes and some gray in his hair. Charming, abusive, cold son of a bitch. You feel tired and angry. The whole situation, spending the day in some underground parking lot, having to bear the looks of the room of strangers, it's almost too much to take in stride. There's no reason you should take it all in stride, but you do. Because if there's one thing your professional career has taught you, it's that. All because of that asshole, whoever he was. He never even gave you a name or a card. Nothing. Well, Kadir, does that sound familiar?
No, it does not. Or at least not familiar enough. I will continue the search after we're done here.
He talked to somebody at the restaurant. The man. Before I left, I can't remember what he said, but he wasn't alone. Maybe that's a lead you can follow?
Did he now? That is interesting. I do hope the proprietor won't stay mad at us for losing one of his staff.
It's almost like he knows the waiter's fate is still bothering you, and he takes pleasure in pointing it out.
Thank you for that observation. I will investigate it later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince?
What is your recommendation, my sheriff?
The traditions are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and thy progeny will be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty.
Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Kadir. I wish to consult my counsel on this, make sure everyone is in agreement.
Of course.
He seems strangely relieved. The prince leaves the main showroom and about 6 people follow her out. You're about to ask this Kadir what all the talk of traditions and councils was when the red-haired woman approaches the two of you.
Sophie?
Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with the fledgling.
What for?
She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Kadir. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve.
I'll go get my sword.
He steps out of the room the way you came. A woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you are in quite the pickle. What was that about a sword? I don't like... A sword? What? Did I hear that right? Did he say about... What did he say about a sword? Your hearing isn't faulty. We only have a short while before the prince hears her counsel out, and then Kadir returns here with his blade. So, listen please. Last night, you became a vampire. Wait, what? Oh yes, I am well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. It's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire. The fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. You glance around. Some of the guests are occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale. Really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. No, that's not wine. That's not the right thickness. And not the right color either. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night, there's no denying it, and your breathing has not returned. Your heart remains still. A vampire. 2 voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. The other voice just keeps saying, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" on repeat. You're surprised. This is often, how it plays out by design. Kadir deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down, as sure as the day follows night. But I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. I will take you under my wing. If you are lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and Kadir's complaints about your behavior won't influence her judgment. This society values docility. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. I am not making this offer lightly. Oh, that's a weird smell. Buddy, what the hell? As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I will make sure you face the consequences. What happens if I agree? Suppose I say yes. What happens then? You survive, hopefully, or not, depending on the prince's whim. I'm giving you a chance, not a guarantee. But if you take me as your patron, I will be your guide in this new reality, and you will assist me, like a child would a sire. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. It seems the prince and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadir appears from downstairs as well, and starts walking towards you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember my condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadir, who does not smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard, fastened with a colorful sash around his waist. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating. First and foremost, Kadir takes his place next to you and observes the prince as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla, gathered here tonight, I have made my decision regarding this fledgling. Their behavior since being embraced has been disagreeable, and that does not bode well for becoming a valuable member of our society. You are all keenly aware. Oh, hello. How are you? You want to? I'm being vampires right now.
Oh, vampires.
Yes,
Great.
there are vampires about.
Have fun.
Need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our... Oh, I think I've completely... You are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. As our trusted sheriff pointed out, there can only be one course of action. Although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions in this. She takes a look specifically about one of the people who left the room before, a somewhat plainly dressed, shy-looking man whose skin is somewhat a healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate, and I declare that, while her embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is their progeny that will be punished. The sentence is final death, to be resolved presently. Kadir? You hear a scraping sound and see the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. It is a beautifully detailed blade which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up.
2 ounce. Bottom of the 9th.
His quiet mumble is audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance, and one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination.
And he's out to bat.
You will not get another chance to speak up. So are these just the death Hold on. Is there a save? So, I kind of want to know what happens if I remain silent. I'm not going to lie. So we're going to do that. You meet the red-haired woman's gaze. She's looking at you expectantly. You sink into despair. You are dead. She confirmed as much. And now you're expected to become a slave? Your life is over and that's all there is to it. Whatever this nightmare is, it's no time for it to end. Or it is time for it to end. Maybe it's all just a bad dream, waiting for you to wake up. The blade slashes through your neck in a single, clean cut. There is no stirring from this uneasy sleep, just an endless void of nothingness. The endless void of nothingness. An endless void of nothingness. Listen, I needed to know. Yeah. Oh, won't we load? What? Wait a minute. Oh, really? Ain't that some bullshit? What? Huh. Okay. We can skip through most of the rest of stuff. Let's make the text size a little bit smaller and make the typing speed a little bit faster. Try dialogue options in the middle, maybe? What does that look like? We can probably skip through most everything. Wonder where the dialogue options are going to show up. So it's this type of game where we really don't want to try to look at other ways of going about things. Because if we try to look at what other things do, oh, they show up here. I don't like that. Killed somebody. Save and exit. Let's go ahead and change that real quick. Back. Load. Yes. But yeah. I only died a Rod because I wanted to check and see what happened. However, it didn't seem to do... It doesn't seem to let you load back if you save. So yeah, I'm not... What did I say last time? Said what are you even talking about? Yeah. My boss. Listen, you can go back and listen, man. It wasn't that long ago. You guys could probably even, like, clip it. Where are we going? Sure, man. Consequences are pretty severe? Yeah, it seems like it. I'm trying to remember all the things that I said last time. Seems like a great game so far, though. Yeah, it seems really fun. Don't drink the blood. Get inside the car. Worthwhile skill set. Lack of ambition. We're almost back. Good evening. Remain silent. Handsome businessman. Somebody at the restaurant. Was that about a sword? Pretty sure this is all of the same things that I said last time. Sophie's gonna be like, oh man, what happened? Here we go. Now's whenever I need to ask for mercy, because last time I'm just like, remain silent and die. Why not? Sounds like a good time. You make your choice. Spare me, please. Don't make me beg, goddammit. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elite suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismaying at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now. But Kadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance they could become an asset to our domain. And I understand that you are volunteering to take this unruly child under your protection? Yes, I am willing to give them a chance, and prove to the entire domain that they can adhere to our expectations, and will take nothing less from their full cooperation, naturally. Whispers can be heard again. The incredulous voice or two are hushed just behead the fucker. How dare! Some suppressed exclamation of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to take note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Miss Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Should I say anything or should I remain silent? What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't know what the best option is. I think if I talk, fucking people gonna maybe behead me. I don't know. What the fuck do you think? Gonna drink some of this freaking water. It's just water, not blood. Promise. Promise it's just water, not blood. Not blood at all. Don't even think about that. Everybody stay silent? Alright. It's clear tensions are high. It feels surreal to listen to the strangers discussing your death, or second death, apparently, but keeping silent. And keeping silent. You decide it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle this eyes wide shut crowd. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. She takes another good measure of the room before she speaks again. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am not to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Velvet, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Velvet. Now, this evening has proved to be more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties.
Of course, Prince.
He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched, you will be judged, and if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Velvet, I think we both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we have a toast to our fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the guest glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid? I don't know what that says. He pours it into two tall glasses. You can barely wait until he hands you the drink, your attention fully on it. The fact that it's blood, you are certain of it, doesn't faze you in this time. While Sophie sips her drink, you realize this thirst. No, this hunger can only be satiated by drinking the whole glass in almost a single gulp. You're taken aback about how wretched it tastes. And then you throw up. Great! Wonderful! Great first impression! We did it! We threw up all over her! Fucking great! Doop doop doo. Just like that, the crimson liquid that's at your throat in the stream, your entire body ceases, as if you wanted to get rid of every last drop. Sophie is shocked, and so are the remaining few guests. A posh woman curses you out quietly. You barely manage to avoid spraying it all over your clothes. Sophie's over the gallery wall, and the abstract painting next to you. A small disgusting puddle forms at your feet. What a humiliating shit show. Don't let it bother you. NYC caterers have a very what the fuck is that word? Borgerous ideas? I think that's a word. Borgerous? Is it Borgious? Borgerous? Borgious? Borgiois? Borgways? I don't know, man. Ideas about what good blood should taste like, and some of us do have delicate palates. You just need to keep trying by taking smaller sips. She waves at one of the staff, and they soon start mopping up in the meantime. The concierge serves you 3 other variants of blood. The first 2 are as horrible and indigestible as before. Both ended up back in the glass within moments of tasting them. Before the 3rd try, you're almost ready to throw the glass at the wall in frustration, but finally, this one's different. Instead of mud and decay, a surprisingly rich bouquet of tastes. You feel blissfully at ease, and Sophie takes notice. Ah, there it is, Jacob. Would you kindly let us know who the vessel was? Leave the bottle, please.
The concierge nods and leaves again. You take another sip and another. You empty the glass. A dull feeling in your stomach and your head starts subsiding. But you still want more. Sophie pours you another glass and then refills hers. She takes a sip. You have a curiously specific taste, Velvet. Is it the clover notes, the traces of caffeine, or that bittersweet aftertaste of melancholy? You taste nothing of the kind, but it doesn't matter. It's tasty. But not as delicious as it was last night, not as intoxicating. It manages to silence the hunger somewhat, though. Looks like drinking blood puts you at ease when you can keep it in. It's a strange realization. The man named Jacob comes back with a small card and leaves it with Sophie. She takes a quick look and passes it on to you. It's somebody's medical details. An office worker, male, Caucasian, 32 years old. Blood type ABRH plus. What? The fuck kind of blood type is that? ABRH plus? I have no idea what that is. Hold up. We need to look at this. ABRH plus. Antigens from this person, red pill, persons having inherited such types will be resident RH positive. RH, okay. I get you. Alright, nah, I'm a dummy. Gotcha. Okay. I'm a dumb. Blue eyes, brown hair, no history of substance abuse, New Jersey native. Might be one of those details be what makes the difference? Now that we have picked the right bouquet for your palate, these documents should be useful in identifying your exact taste. Should that be ORH plus or Joyzy Boys? But I believe you have more questions. Now, perhaps we should start with those related to the sustenance. How much do I have to drink? Where do I get blood? How will I know what I can drink? How will I know what I can drink? These difficulties of mine, how do I navigate that? How will I know what kind of blood I can drink? It's a tricky question. I believe you will just have to trust your instinct on this. With time, you should be able to narrow down your particular preference. Blood that you reject is, of course, no value to you. It is a horrible waste. No amount of it will ever sate your hunger completely. But every little sip counts. If you're frugal, or forced by the circumstances, you can survive many nights without a single drink. But it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. It will take some time to find the right balance. Tomorrow I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further, but you should be good for now. What will you expect of me? Beast! What will you expect of me? So now that I'm working for you, what are my responsibilities going to be like? It's a bit more complicated than working for me. If I wished for a servant, there were easier ways to achieve that than risking the prince's chagrin at the asylum. I can see potential in you that would have been wasted if I hadn't spoken up. Not to mention, it would pain me to witness a senseless final death. It always had. That said, I will require that you defer to me in all things, but me being your mentor and superior also means that I shall treat you as my loyal retainer and understudy. With me, you can go far. Without me and proper guidance, you will have become a clear danger to the Masquerade. That is why, with your sire gone, the prince wanted you out of the picture too. The concierge returns, asking for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told the gallery is about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on could tip any negotiation towards her favor.
Her words are like honey, and she makes it impossible to take your eyes off her. You're under her spell momentarily. I like how we have the same fucking setup, but it's like her eyes now instead of the eyes of the driver. It's funny. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce? Hell yeah. And invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the Masquerade. You may have, or as you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advise or advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So, to the vast majority of kind, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip-up in the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. What's the risk? Is our driver a vampire too? Wait, what about my career then? What about my career, girl? What? What the hell? My career. So what you're saying is, who I have become must remain a secret. What about my job then? My career? Is it over? Just like that? Not necessarily, but you will need to step lightly. It goes without saying that you will need an explanation for your disappearance, and it will be a few more nights before I let you go it alone. You might be one of the kindred now, but that comes with several caveats. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? Some more folk-related threats are just legends or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes to the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which, under the right circumstances, can often be the same thing. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. How can you trust your driver? Do vampires watch each other's backs? It's good to keep human friends. Oh, so it's good to keep human friends. Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? In moderation. And best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends? I haven't had one of those for many years now. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at a whim, yes, that's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority, at the best for us to maintain the masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority. With it comes influence and power, if you wish to reach for them. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as a piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment? Neat. So the parking lot room? Do I get a loyal servant? My own apartment! Neat! I get my own apartment. That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I am able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening. You take the stairs to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the oh, damn! Damn, can I be a vampire? Holy shit! I want to live here. Hold up. Is there a way I can, like... Come on. I want to see I want to see it. Damn it. I can't... I want this room. Fuck yeah. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, no windows. Well, how do you like it? Wait, can I choose another? What, can I choose another? This is great. Thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come to pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors, just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadir could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even with only that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns. Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble. Again. President of the United States got himself out of trouble. Again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understood what happened to you? How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. You have the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again. Sinking, 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 sinking. Neat. I can rest now if I feel. That's pretty cool. What, Seduced Blue was not the sexy vampire but the furnishings? You fucking got it, my dude. I will instantly become a vampire if you guys want to give me digs like that. Fuck yeah. I live in a basement right now. I don't even have a couch. I'd love a couch. Might get a couch one day. I don't know. Like, I have my chair here, but there's no give to it. Like, there's like, I have to lay back. There's like nothing keeping me sitting straight up. You know what I mean? I'm actually thinking I might get a new chair one day. I don't know. Pop my back. Let's go ahead and make a... Can I make a thing here with the way that things are currently set up? I can't. Really? That's interesting. Actions? Edit quick actions. Huh. Is there no way to do the thing? Huh. Hold on a minute. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Nope, that just takes me to the thing. How do you do the thing anymore? So, if you, for you guys, you probably are not understanding what I'm saying. Stream marker, there we go. There we go. I can do it now. Add a stream marker. So we're gonna end things off here for the YouTube side of things, not for the rest of you guys. So let's go ahead and clip it here, and see you guys in just a bit.